All right, ready?
Yep.
Let's go. Yo, Sneak This Podcast. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, Sneak This Podcast, episode 71. Got George.
Yep.
Ryan.
Yep.
Greg. Back in the building. 8. Special guest, Teddy, a.k.a. BOOSTGOD, in the building.
Hello.
High energy. Real quick, episode 71. Who's jersey number 71?
I have no idea.
Anybody got a jersey 71?
There's got to be a good left tackle who wore 71.
Come on, there's some hockey players. I got 2.
Oh, yeah, Malkin.
You got Larkin.
I have no idea who that is.
Dylan Larkin? Red Wings? I don't know. I feel like somebody in the Red Wings is number 71. Today, special, we're going to do, you want to talk what we're doing? Or?
We're going to talk about, is Adidas doing too much, and can they withstand the Boost sitting on shelves, and can they overtake Nike? We'll do a question and answer from some of our listeners, as well as some of the ones that were posted on the post that Teddy made earlier.
So yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, basically what Ryan said. We'll do Q&A, and BOOSTGOD has graciously agreed to answer as many questions as possible. We definitely want to let everybody know that we've actually talked to him before, so there's some questions we might not get to because they've already been answered, and I'm sure he's answered the same questions a billion times already. So if you're listening to this, just go back to our previous episode when we interviewed him at Phoenix SneakerCon and take a listen to that. Also, obviously, YouTube, subscribe, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all the podcast platforms, also Podknife now. So check us out on our website, thesneakthis.com. Also, remember to continue to vote on thesneakthis.com for the Sneaker Hall of Flames.
One more week.
We have one more week of that. Anybody got any pickups this week? Actually, we'll start with our guest, Teddy.
What'd you pick up this week?
No, he's got pickups.
Actually, it's been kind of a slow week. I grabbed those new, is it the laceless Ultra Boost? Is that what they're calling it? The unlaced, the laceless.
Okay.
With that like a bar across it or like a strap across it?
Yeah, it's like the new uncaged, basically.
So how are those?
I don't know. I had to. They only dropped in Europe, so I had to get somebody grab them from Europe, and then they got to get them and then ship them to me. So.
So you haven't seen them yet in person?
And then I haven't gotten them. Like what have I actually gotten in person? I haven't gotten shit lately. Like really.
I saw you got those Pharrell sent to you. The teal ones.
I guess they're teal. They have like teal and pink and crazy colors in them.
Like chameleon.
They're cool. I appreciate the gesture like crazy, but
oh yeah, we'll talk about that as well. Ryan, you got any pickups?
I picked up 2 Sabagos, Ronnie Feig Sabagos that I've been wanting for like a year and a half, and finally was able to get them on eBay for $37. Retail was $180. So patience.
George, what you got?
Fist pump over there for your patience. I got nothing, absolutely nothing, because I don't need to buy.
You got
anything.
a wedding.
But I did try to buy the Flyknit trainers that came out on the European release, and that was a gigantic L. So
I forgot all about those. I got those Peytons, retro Peytons that you had sent for $59.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got those, even though I already had like 2 other pairs, and I still have the OG.
When did they come out?
They came out a long time ago. They also came out the black pair with the foam posit that was like a 97 pack, whatever nonsense. And then I got the Jordan 1s, what are they called? Premium?
The sales.
Sales. I got the white ones. I might do some with those. I'm not a fan of like customs that much. You know, it has to be real subtle for a custom. But I might do something with that all white joint. But other than that, that's it. Releases
I expected Teddy to have way more than 2 things or 1 thing or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't really. I got a pair of Y3s that don't fit. I mean, I didn't really like. It's been slow. I'm like caught up. You know what I mean? Like I feel like.
I would imagine it can't be. I would imagine it can't be exciting for you to like get new boosts all the time. Still.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, what don't you have? We get on George about it all the time. George.
Yeah, Gregory has become a hater of Boost.
No,
in the last,
I have not become a hater of Boost. We'll talk about it.
That's the difference over years, you know what I mean? And there's still like enough new models. Like there's like interesting shit to try out. You know, that's what I think I've enjoyed recently is like them putting Boost on some stuff like not that, you know, or releasing cooler versions like that new Energy Boost that everybody hates and calls the dad shoe. But it's just interesting. You know, it's not just the same thing. I mean, I get how everybody's like that with Ultra Boost, how they're like, okay, we've seen a million 3.0 colors, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
kind of like, all right, yeah, let's move on. But
And new models is kind of a stretch.
yeah, I don't think so. You have the mids, you have different versions of the Pure Boost. Like they changed the NMD up. There's all kinds of stuff that's like the new EQT. There's all kinds of stuff that's happened.
A lot of the EQT is based off of what the old one looked like, though. Like it's like a remake.
What do you want? What do you want? Like what do you want out of a shoe? Like what is it that you're like?
I'll tell you what I want. I want a Climacool boost. I want that Climacool.
They're doing that. They're doing a Climacool Upper Ultra Boost.
Oh, that I would be interested in, because that Climacool that they did over the last week or 2 weeks ago, I think they released the black one.
Yeah, it's fire.
Fire is a strong word as well.
I think it's fire. I like that shoe a lot.
I mean, I didn't get it, but it's a fire looking shoe.
I mean, it looks like it's like the same silhouette with just some added pieces. It doesn't look that.
But
yeah, like, what do you want?
If they did a shoe that went up to your knee, you'd be like, "What the fuck is this thing?"
If it went up to my knee, I wouldn't even be interested. I'm way too short for that.
So I'm saying, like, what is it? Like, I'm just wondering. You know what I mean? Like, we're in 2017. All these ideas. We're all over 30, I think, right?
Yes.
So,
oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. How old are you?
We've seen these ideas. We've seen it all. You know what I mean? So it's fair to assume that we're somewhat jaded. And that we're like not excited anymore because it's like, oh yes, it's the same model as it. It's the same as when I played the Fugees record for my mom for the first time, and she's like, "What? You like this song? This is a sample from," and it's like,
right.
We're just jaded. Like it's like, but what do you really want out of a shoe? The only thing I really want is like comfort, which is why Boost is like everything to me, because I don't really. It's like Boost can't really be overdone because it's just like the new standard in soles. So why, like that's fine with me. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then we'll just jump right into the topic, Ryan. Oh, and we actually appreciate Ryan setting this up, hitting you up, contacting you to be on here. But actually, Ryan, if you want to go ahead and just
actually, I have a question for him because he said that Boost is the best shoe, and Teddy, I know you wear Boost all the time, all day, every day. So lately, Greg and George and I have had a discussion and like a little back and forth between Air and Boost and whether or not, because Greg said he wore Ultra Boost the whole time he was in New York and that it wasn't a sustainable shoe for miles and miles and miles and miles of walking, and that he preferred the Vapor Max. Obviously, you don't have anything to compare it to because you only wear Boost, but if you were on your feet the entire day, what would be the Boost shoe that you would recommend most?
If I'm standing around, it would be the new EQT. If I'm walking, it would be an Ultra Boost.
Okay.
Because standing like that upper on the Ultra Boost is just better, I think, for just compressing my foot down.
That's actually a good point. See, Greg doesn't believe that the prime knit makes a difference in Boost shoes, and that's one thing that I want to talk about. So, because I know you always talk about how the Boost is not the thing that makes the shoe 100%. So expound on that a little bit.
I just think that the upper of the shoe, and that's why when they put Boost on like a stand or whatever, to me it's kind of not as noticeable. It's like, all right, cool, like they're just putting Boost on this because Boost is popular, which is fine. Like I still think Boost is their standard sole to all shoes, in my opinion. Like unless something else comes along, but but the upper, and even like the difference between, if we're talking Ultra Boost, like the 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, all those uppers act differently, I feel, on your foot and connect your foot to the Boost differently. And so for me, Ultra Boost is still king. Like with an NMD, it's just like it's still prime knit, but it's not even close to the same fit, obviously, and it's not close to the same support, obviously. But it's just that marriage between the two is what makes the shoe, I feel like. Which is why I really like the mids that they've done, because it's just like so much more ankle support.
I mean, support out of a Boost is, especially out of a mid, is almost a stretch. All right.
My God.
I don't hate Boost. This is the thing. I love Boost. This is the thing in the discussion that we've had. Okay. Well, actually, we'll get into it. So, is Adidas doing too much, and it pretty much going to phase themselves out? Because the discussion that we've had up here is, and the point that I've always tried to make was, I think Boost right now is just Air. It's not special anymore. the special part about what Adidas was doing was the actual Boost itself. There are so many versions and models of Ultra Boost, NMDs, EQTs, Stan Smiths that have Boost on it that now Adidas finally has their Air. Would you agree with that or no?
I mean, to a point, I guess, but like, I see your point, but at the same time, you're not buying shoes that don't have Boost, which in turn make it special.
And I'm not buying Nikes without Air.
I'm sorry?
I'm not going to buy Nikes without Air.
Okay, so you're just like, but that's a personal choice, right? Like, okay, so I buy the things that have these extra features. If Air is a feature and Boost is a feature, and it's not a base model, as are expensive shoes or more expensive shoes generally. So, but that's just their state. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that what did Air in was or made Air to me not as sought after as them keeping it going. And I never looked at Boost like, oh, I got a Boost shoe and you don't, like, yeah, Boost is really hard to get. I mean, that was just kind of the thing. There was a huge demand, and I think even Adidas or Wex or whoever came out was like, we can't produce enough of it. And now they've like caught up with production. Like at the end of the day, Adidas is a corporation and a business. They don't give two flipping shits about whether the shoe is hype or not. I don't think.
Oh, that's fact.
They do a better business by having everyone who wants their shoe be able to get their shoe. So like we're in this subculture of the culture, and it's kind of like for us, it's like if we see something. Even if you buy something online and you go back 4 hours later and it's still available, there's people that get bummed out about that. It's like,
yes, one of them is sitting right here. You said that before.
I said that, yes, I like when sneakers make you feel special. That's just coming up from day one in 4th, 5th grade from collecting sneakers, being that guy who always had the J's or always had the whatever. I still like that feeling.
But it's different now, though, because back then, everyone could get it. Everyone just couldn't afford it. Now, people can't even get it.
You know what I almost wore here today? I almost wore an Aqua 8. And you know what? If I would have wore the Aqua 8, you two would have
No, that just would have been contrary to wear that. That's the only reason.
Yeah, but you two would have gave me the hardest time ever if I wore an Aqua 8. Yeah, pause. But to me, there are certain sneakers like an Aqua 8 that I still feel special in because of what they made me feel back in the day a little bit. I just don't see why. Okay, the culture.
Listen, we all tried to cop Air Max 1
OGs,
Atmos, and the OG ones when they came out. So I mean, I understand what you're talking about.
Teddy didn't try to cop those.
No, yeah, I'm talking about us. Yeah. So we all tried to buy those. So yeah, if you're talking about nostalgia, I agree with nostalgia, but
to an extent,
but there's also the comfort thing makes a difference.
I don't believe comfort is. I mean, comfort is dope. Okay, so you said for Boost.
That an Air Max is more supportive than an Ultra Boost, though. Like an Air Max, like what? Like the one you're talking about, the one or whatever.
The Vapor Max? Air Max 1?
Yeah, the Air Max 1. You think that's more supportive than an Ultra?
It's way more supportive, but an Ultra Boost is more comfortable. Like, that's what I feel. I played, it was flag football and an NMD this week. Now, that's a little bit more strenuous than just running around the block.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Twisted my ankles a million times. Now, I don't. Now, we were all playing in Boost actually, and Edgar was out there playing in my human races, bro. He was playing flag football in my human races. I lost to him in the bet on a football field, like in the grass.
Yeah, rub it in. Pros.
But no, you have to. Right now, I feel like comfort is just it's what attracted us to the Boost. And then the design kept us, and now it's just Air. You're gonna start seeing Boost in famous footwear, like they sell.
Well, yeah, maybe like some weird models or whatever.
You're right. It's gonna be
there. At the same time, like that doesn't make sense to me because what's the last thing that you just said? You said before you said it was going to famous footwear.
It's gonna go to famous footwear because Boost is now Adidas's Air. That's what they've been trying. All the technologies that Adidas have gone through to get to this point. They have the
But it's not an Ultra Boost isn't going to go to
No. Not an Ultra Boost.
Same thing like you don't see Air Max 1 there, but you'll see some kind of Air Max.
You'll see something with Air in it. Yeah, but that's fact. It's Air.
Like you're just expecting Boost to stay rare forever. And that's just like some weird hype beast.
Oh, no. I don't. I feel like it's already not rare anymore. I feel like it ran its course and now it's
that's what your disappointment is. Your disappointment lies in the fact that it's not just rare. Like you can't be the dude that walks into the function and have the only pair of Boost on.
Yes and no. It depends. It depends.
You're mad because you're not special.
I mean, I see the bagger, the checkout boy wearing Boost now at the store. Like, you see triple whites on the guy bagging the groceries now. It's not.
Yeah.
That
There's hotter than Yeezys. I mean,
you're right.
There's like a lot of hotter shoes than Yeezy. You know, and like there's also plenty of stuff, and also time moves really quickly right now. You know, it's like we're very much thinking that what is always will be, and people are like, every shoe comes out every week or whatever. And people are, okay, I'm not going to pass on this one. I don't want this one. But in 2 months, the shit's gone. It's not like you see anything sitting for over a couple of months.
That's a fact, because I only search for 1.0s.
To the next thing.
Yeah, but that's become a thing lately on social media, too, is like people only looking for 1.0s.
Oh, 1.0s are through the roof right now.
That's all I care about.
That shit sat, too.
Yep.
Like, no one cared. It was already air, quote unquote, as you say, before it was even Boost. Like, people didn't even care.
I think it was air.
And it's because people missed out on it. It was, and they went back and were like, oh, I missed out on all this, you know. And once they saw 2.0 and thought that was ugly, then it gave them, you know, the, oh shit, I missed it. You know what I mean? Like, again, some hype beast shit.
Yeah, I remember seeing OGs, and especially something that has crept up in price. The I know Adidas doesn't call it Volt, but the Volt 1.0, I think it's like solar yellow.
Oh
yeah. But those were on Roadrunner Sports for like $140 for the longest time, and now you can't touch them for under $350. So definitely.
I think I bought a pair of Solar Reds. The dude sent the receipt in the box or something, and he got them for like $65.
Oh yeah, I bought a pair. I bought those like the yellow and black or Volt and black, whatever they were, at the Adidas outlet here in town for $85.
Yeah, and that's just how it goes. Like, people take things for granted and then later look at it. And, you know, people can say that's attributed to Kanye or whoever or whatever, but whatever that catalyst is that gets people to look at it again, still, you know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, so if tomorrow Kanye wakes up and puts on a Solar Slime 2.0, everyone's going to lose their mind and go look for that shoe?
Pretty much.
I doubt that.
I actually...
Is that,
much.
oh, wait, is that the one that you uncaged?
Yeah, that ugly.
Oh, nah, ain't nobody looking for that one.
You'll never know. It just Kanye.
See, but the ones that he's not wearing, his clothes are whatever you want to call it, just out there. His shoes that he's been picking, besides like the boots he's made, really haven't been out there. I mean,
the boots are fire.
He wears, okay, you chill. He wears like a lot of like just simple colors, blacks and whites and reds. Like he's not doing a lot of stuff with like lime greens and whatever else, purples and stuff like that. So I mean, that's why the Flyknit trainer blew up. The same thing with Jerry Lorenzo and that one shoe. It's white and black. You know what I mean? The ZG Prime Knit or ZG Pure Boost. All that stuff blows up. It's very simple colors. Like, you don't see Kanye wearing crazy stuff or Jerry Lorenzo or whoever else. You know what I mean?
So speaking of that ZG, Teddy, I noticed that you got the new version last week, I think?
Yeah.
How does the new ZG Prime Knit compare to the OG?
It's not Prime Knit, so it doesn't compare at all.
Oh, it's not?
Well.
The new Y3s aren't knit. It's all mesh.
Oh, okay.
The silver ones or whatever it is?
All of them. They're all the same.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the white and silver toed one, the black one, and the purple one. They're all like these mesh panels. And it's a little stretchy. It's not like a mesh and Indeed. It doesn't have that sort of inline or whatever, but they're not Prime Knit. They're nowhere near the same shoe.
How's the comfort as far as the Boost goes? Because I know there's a big difference between the sole. Like the originals had that kind of thick, rubbery sole on the bottom, and this one is more like a Pure Boost sole almost.
Yeah, I like the newer version just because the Boost, it's like flattened out.
Gotcha.
It feels like you're standing on like almost like a Yeezy. It's like makes that big teardrop shape, and sort of feels like you're on a flatter bed of Boost. So I like the 2.0 better for the Boost tech, but the upper and the ZG is by far, preferred.
So
I believe that. So
what's on your? So what's on? We know last time we talked, your most prized sneaker was the Miami Ultra Boost because of the story that it entailed. Is that still probably the #1 shoe in your collection right now?
I guess it's like now the collection gotten so big that I don't even know what's going on. You know? I did a collection video the other day, which ended up being an hour long, and yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's anything prized. It's almost like I've been spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost just there's so much stuff there that I can't really even get through it. And most days I end up wearing the same shit. You know what I mean? I'll just throw on the same pair of Yeezys that I've been kind of beating up, or, you know, and then I just cycle through it. You know, I'm like, okay, I wore that shoe for 2 weeks straight. Let me move into this one. But,
So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing's really prized, I guess.
See, that's what happens with our age. All right, you just wear what's more accessible. My zebras, my zebras have been in my son's toy room for about 3 days. Like, I seen him walking around with them in the laundry room. Like, they just lay around the house. Like,
you've been wearing them though.
I've been wearing them, and I left them. I wore them about 4 times. Left them in the toy room, and they just been sitting in the toy room for about 3 days. He was wearing them in the laundry room. Like. And that's because I never put them back in the box. They're on the floor. I'm just going to put them on my feet. Like, but anyways, so I think we, real quick, you know, talk about Adidas or whatever. I want to actually ask you something before we get to listener questions. I want to ask you about.
Well, wait, didn't you guys want to know what he thinks is going to happen in the future? He didn't even really talk about that.
What's happening in the future?
Where do you see this going? Because obviously we've seen the khakis kind of sitting a little bit. I think the gray, like salmon color pairs sitting a little bit. I mean, do you think that this is going to even out and that everything will be accessible at some point and the sellouts will stop?
I don't think everything. You know, I think that people got kind of, resellers got spoiled on some stuff.
Yeah.
Like being able to fetch higher prices for like GR shoes, and, you know, it's like triple white 1.0 or whatever. That at one point we're selling for like $300-400 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people got spoiled with that, and I think you'll see more stuff sitting. Honestly, I think that like I said earlier, I think that Boost is just the new standard in sole technology, especially for Adidas, and they're going to use that on as many models as they want, and they're going to have Ultra Boosts
Air
that are available to everyone. But there's still always going to be just like in Nike and Air, there's always a hierarchy to that. There's always these shoes,
of course,
that are collabs or quick strikes or whatever that are more sought after because of the hype beast factor.
All the new colored human racers coming out.
Yeah, we'll never lose that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, as long as Adidas keeps up their consortium tour, I don't think that there's anything to worry about as far as you know, having access to no access, basically. You know, like everybody wants the shoe they can't get, but then they want to basically be upset because they couldn't get it that morning, and now it's $600 to get it, you know. So, but I guess that's part of the game. It's the thrill, I think.
So is there anything on the list of what you want that you have not been able to obtain yet?
It's mostly just friends and family stuff, like the friends and family Pharrell. I can't find it at 13. I found it at 14, but I'm not. People want like $7,000 for that shoe. I'm like, well, I'm not even going to consider paying that.
We're talking the burgundy?
Yeah, the burgundy one.
Okay.
Or the other one. I guess there's the second one too. But
the pink?
Yeah, I guess it's pink, right? Or magenta.
Yeah.
There's that, and there's a couple of pair of Ultra Boost, like 1.0s. Like, I want the color 1.0s. I don't have those. And the ash purples, which I don't think have come in my size. People say they do, but I've never seen them.
I've never seen them that big.
Yeah, I thought that was a woman's shoe.
I don't have the J and D's, but people are crazy with what they think they're worth now all of a sudden. So, you know, I'd take those, but I'm not. People want like thousands for that shoe, and I'm like, it's still just a white Ultra Boost with a leather cage. You know, it's not like, and a black Ultra Boost with a leather cage. It's not that special to me. So.
It hurts my feelings sometimes when you put on your nice kicks and beat them up.
Yeah, I need to buy another pair, but those things shot up crazy, man.
Super crazy, yeah. I mean, they're like 15 to 18 now.
Yeah, I had a homie buy a pair for $1,200 the other day, but I remember when I bought mine, I paid resale and I paid like $400.
I would gladly pay $400 for that shoe right now.
It's like, Dad, this is a lot. I remember talking to my homie and being like, man, I'm kind of tripping right now, because when I started getting into buying, you know, Ultra Boost, a lot of it was for resale, and it was like right, you know, in StockX. I feel like the beginnings of StockX to my knowledge. 400 was a lot for me. Like when I was buying Nike and SB and stuff, I had never paid resale for anything. It wasn't even an option. I was younger, didn't have money, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So when I was like getting into it and I was starting to pay, I was like, all right, well, 300 is not bad. And then 400, and then it jumped up to 6 and then 9. But when I was like in the $400 range, I was like calling my friend, like, am I being irresponsible? Like, is this smart? And he's like, no, it's not smart. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it anyway. You know, but yeah, it was a new leap for me, and to see how it's all like gone crazy, even crazier, is pretty interesting to watch.
Well,
what do you think about the 4D, 3D stuff? Because we had a conversation about that last week or 2 weeks ago, and the feeling here, besides me, kind of was like it's not. What were you guys saying? Like you didn't really think it was a legitimate thing until.
I just don't think it's going to be accessible.
Okay,
like, so
well, that's what you want, isn't it?
That's not what I want. That's what Greg wants.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It flipped. Okay.
I mean,
Teddy should have more information on it than we do. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious to get thoughts.
That 4D, I don't think 3D is going to be implemented in the way. Like, I don't think that sole is going to make it to market. And I don't have any insider info. This is just my speculation. I don't see the 3D coming out, but I do see them using aspects like the 3D printed heel cups. And, you know, like I always read the fine print when Adidas is like, there will be 3D technology in so and so many shoes by this date. I'm just like, yeah, well, that could be like shoelaces, you know, like
yeah.
they could like 3D print shoelaces and call it the 3D lace, like whatever. But I do think you'll see the 4D because it's squishier and it's more like responsive feeling. So I think that's what you're going to see be on more shoes. And then they have that Y3 model that has them. So I think you'll see that in the next year. I definitely do.
So have you worn those?
What was that?
Have you worn those? Have you worn a 4D?
Not the 4D, but JC has them. So I was talking to him about them, and then I felt them and like pushed on them. And they're definitely like compared to the 3D feels like metal.
Gotcha.
It's almost like a metal plate in the 3D. Like they're really cool, and that's what really made me like recognize that the upper had so much to do with the shoe, because when I put on the 3D, I was like, well, the shoe is actually still comfortable, and it was because the upper was holding my foot in place.
Gotcha.
But there was no response. You know, like standing on the 3D all day, I was like, okay, my feet hurt. Like I'm not even gonna act like they don't hurt, because they do. And then when I saw the 4Ds and just like seeing how squishy it is, and like watching him take a step and seeing it kind of push back a little bit, it kind of just seems like a more 3D printed Boost.
Gotcha.
JC is also, as well, I love him to death, but he gets hype about stuff, so I never know until I can actually put the shoe on.
Yeah.
You know, he'll tell you it's like they're as comfortable as Ultra Boost, and they very may well be, but I haven't put them on yet.
Gotcha.
He's not really a fan of mine right now, so. Huh?
That's my bro.
Oh yeah, I know y'all super homies or whatever, but he's kind of not really liking me right now, so.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone who needs to have something before anyone else more than him. I
feel like he's slowed down with that.
Oh, okay, because I remember seeing something about like those Cobra kiths and what he paid, and then now they're $450 or whatever.
I feel like that's when he started to slow down.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
he realized.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he just yeah, he likes to get stuff, but it's also beneficial. It's like in the realm that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Like getting it early is what gets, unfortunately, a lot of the people that watch YouTube channels are like.
yeah. You mean like getting something and feeling special?
Yeah, like you.
I'm not saying personally. I'm saying for content, you know, and like, or for like growing a brand such as Urban, and you know, when you have a shoe store like that, like having something that's attractive like that is.
You're right.
I think we finally figured out. I think Greg is just jealous that he feels special and Greg can't feel special.
Oh yeah, I'm jealous of him. I want to be a Jamaican. Anyways, so we talked about Adidas SneakerCon. You know, obviously you're known for YouTube, Boost, all that. SneakerCon, honestly, we've been very critical of SneakerCon, up and down, left and right, but we definitely support SneakerCon. Mm-hmm. Being at SneakerCons recently, you see everybody walking around with cameras in their face, cameras doing this, cameras doing that. You, coming from somebody who got in kind of on the ground with Boost and getting on YouTube, is it a waste of time for a lot of these young kids and everybody to be walking around, vlogging, and trying to be, quote unquote, a shoe tuber? Like, is there any more space for them?
I think well, first off, the shoe tuber thing I think is stupid. I don't think that anyone should just be like a shoe tuber. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why with my stuff, it's more of a vlog. Like, when people complain like, you haven't had any shoes on your channel in like 2 days, I'm like, yeah, it's because it's a daily vlog. I don't really give a shit that you want to live vicariously through my purchases right now. Like, you get a vlog and you are blessed for the fact that there so happens to be so many shoes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I mean,
in my life. So like the whole like. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying because you just can't. You click on one vlog, you watch one, and there's just a million different people who are reviewing the exact same Ultra Boost, the exact same Jordan 4, the exact same Jordan 1.
Yeah.
Is there any more space for it?
Personality at some point? I mean, having a YouTube channel in general has got to come down to, somewhat of being an online personality or having just a personality that you can put online.
Right.
So I think it depends on the reasons. But like if you have a kid with a camera who's like, look, I'm trying to make little mini TV shows every day about my life and shoes and what I'm into, and I want to share that with the world, I think there's plenty of space for that. If there's some kid that thinks like, hey, if I just buy every single hype release and come out and just talk about it, I'm going to get famous and people are going to want to talk to me too, and they're going to want to take pictures, like then they're tripping. You know what I mean? Because the select few of people who are popular, I guess, in the YouTube realm, it comes down to their personalities.
Yeah.
Like they have these personalities on the internet, and that's what draws other people in.
Or they're English bulldogs. Everybody else might just need to go get.
Yeah, my English bulldog is totally the only, he's the reason. So.
I don't know. I just find it every single time I see somebody with a sneaker and a camera, it's just getting cornier and cornier and cornier. Like,
but you go anywhere and it's like that, though.
You're right.
What I mean?
And I don't want to sound like old man, but
well, you do. It's okay whether you want to or not.
You're right, and I definitely accept it. I just don't. I just want to get the opinion from you, being probably the older sneaker YouTuber, quote unquote sneaker. I don't even like saying that sneaker YouTuber thing. Being the older YouTuber in there, how do you personally view it and feel it? Like, I mean, you've seen the stuff that we posted on our thing. Your followers and people are out of control. All right, like they think you're actually the god of Boost.
I think they're more going. I think it's more of a joke to a lot of them, but I don't know. Like I think it's just like the trend right now in general. I don't think that that's exclusive to shoes. I think that everyone's trying to document and everyone's trying to quote unquote get known on the internet for something. And then people see an accessible lane and they're like, well, I could do that. I'm into this, and that's what they think it takes, and.
Well, they see, what's the one kid's name? Jake Paul or whatever. They see kids like that, and that's what they're trying to be. I mean, that's,
who is that?
He's like
sorry, go ahead.
The biggest YouTuber. Yeah, the biggest YouTuber on the platform right now, basically. He's a daily vlogger. He's got a lot of controversy around him for the dumb shit.
The one that Disney hired, and then they just fired him last
week.
For
like sexual assault or something, or like luring kids?
I don't think so. No, he's like 19 or 20 or something like that.
I thought it was like this.
That's not the same thing.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't a sneaker YouTuber. He was just a YouTuber in general. Guy. Yeah, but his whole thing is like pranks and goofy,
right?
Like the things that you would think is corny. That's because I think it's corny. That's the type of stuff he did. So his audience was obviously
the environment that YouTube has created.
Right. Obviously, yeah.
YouTube has done that shit to itself, and it's the platform itself doesn't even really. I mean, like even my sub count. Like people look at me like you have a lot of subs, but I should have a lot more. And I don't. And it's because I keep it real to like myself. I smoke weed and I cuss and I do this and I do that in my vlogs. And I don't really make any kind of I don't make any edits or excuses for it.
You're not jumping in a bathtub full of Kool-Aid. Yes.
No, I'm not. But like that's PG. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all still PG stuff. It's just like prank videos 2.0. It's like, they're just biting jackass, really, if you think about it. Or anyone that you ever know who went through right after college and got a party house. It's just a party house.
Right, and they turned it into a show on the internet, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's something that I'll never understand, I guess, but
that's something about your content and not only your content, but like the discussion that we had with you at SneakerCon And obviously, like any discussion that I've had with you since then and now today, like you're the same person when we're talking as you are in your videos, like as you are probably in your day-to-day life, which we've come to realize with other YouTubers that that's not the case. Like they come here or we talk to them, they say one thing, but the way that they carry themselves in their videos is completely different. And I think that's something that I personally respect a lot about you, is that you're the same whether the camera's on or off, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I try to keep it as, I mean, I don't really know how to be any other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really, my personality type's not very good at biting my tongue or faking or even, telling you what you want to hear about anything. And I didn't start a vlog for any other reason. It wasn't like, I'm going to be the biggest hype beast in the game. And, I was like, look, I'm going to start a vlog. I'm going to share my opinion about these other things, and this will help open up people's minds, and we can talk about different things. Like shoes is one chamber of this whole thing to me. Absolutely. It's not the biggest thing to me. It's not the most important thing to me.
That's the 100% reason for this podcast. This podcast is based off of a text message thread. Like, I will get on here and say whatever I feel like. That's what we've done since we've gotten on here. And we understand that anybody could not like it. Anybody could hate it. You talk about you should be having more subs. I honestly feel like we should have way more subs than we do, considering the amount of people that listen and the amount of messages that we get all the time. There are people that are at these sneaker cons that be hanging out with a lot of the YouTubers and everybody who hit us up all the time and say, man, you guys are super dope. You guys say whatever you want. You guys tell it exactly how you feel. We talk on here exactly how we talk in a text message thread. Like, I don't want to hold back.
If they're doing it behind closed doors, and they're just being kind of pussy about it.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I'm not
openly supporting.
I'm not gonna do that. Like, and we talked about it last week. I completely understand if I get on here and talk junk about somebody, and I see them at a sneaker con, they punch me in the face. I get it. Like, I understand results. I understand reaction. But I'm not going to get on here and act like I like every single sneaker. I'm not going to act like I like every Boost. I'm not going to say these Jordans are fire. I'm not going to say they're half fire. Like, if they suck, they suck. They're trash, they're trash. If your video's corny, if you're weird, you're weird. Like, and with you, like you said, it's the same every single time. You seem the same every single time in the videos. Every single time somebody posts a video of them talking to you and stuff, you always seem the same. So we do respect that. It's like when that guy got into the comments and said he asked us to get on you because you call yourself the Boost God. And I told him, I said, you've never given us a reason to ever go in on you. Now, the people that post weird stuff on Twitter, I'll talk about them. Okay. But you've always been the same, and we only have face cover. Now, like Ryan said, there's other people we've talked to who aren't the same. When we see them on social media and on videos and in person, they're the most gracious and humble and etc. And that's fine, but I just expect people to be the same everywhere. And maybe it's asking too much. Maybe I'm asking too much from Adidas to make certain boosts. Maybe I'm asking too much for certain people to be a certain way. But I just feel like it's genuine. Like you, and I think I make you and like maybe 7 other YouTube people I like, Everybody else, I just get borderline angry, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm old. Like, I actually get headaches sometimes. Yeah. So, but
sleep over it.
Yeah, but I think we should actually get to some of these questions actually, because we actually kind of got a lot. So I don't know how good you are on time right now.
I'm chilling. I'm good.
You're good. All right. So I'm gonna actually ask a question from George's girlfriend.
Fiance. Really? Fiance,
excuse me. Fiance.
Dang. Get it right.
At Moons Over My Hanny. Do you have a shoe budget each month? If so, how much a month? And do we all have budgets? So we'll turn it to you first, Ted.
I don't have a shoe budget. I don't keep myself. I don't say it's so flattering that anyone thinks I'm that responsible. But okay, I can't spend this or whatever. I just kind of mentally keep myself in check. I'm just like, do I really need this? Do I want this? Sometimes I buy things and I'm like, okay, I'll do this because the channel wants to see it, and I wouldn't mind having it. And later on I can get rid of it if I want to, whatever. But no, I don't really keep myself to a budget. But I'm generally not going to spend over, I was about to say I don't spend over $1,000 a month, but there's been months where I've gone crazy, so.
So would you be cool telling us what the most expensive single sneaker purchase you made was?
Yeah, $2,500 for the 3D.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was all JC's fault.
Do I have a budget? My budget used to be out of control, so I guess it wasn't a budget. And then I cut it down to like 3 a month, and then 2 a month. And then once I went on my New Year's resolution of like I'm not buying anything for 6 months, I actually feel comfortable not buying anything. Like what I buy, it feels special again. Like I'm not just grabbing everything. Like, and we're in the age of I can never not get it. As long as I'm willing to pay for it, I can never not get it. Like I don't care if I miss the release. If I want to pay the extra $200 later, I'll pay the extra $200 later if I really want it. Like I have more respect for my collection of if I actually lost my mind for it when the pictures came out, I should be able to lose my mind for it 2 years later when I still see it and I want to buy it. So, and plus I got tons of kids and a wife, so
tons of kids.
Yeah, it made it seem like you got a
orphanage litter.
Bruh. I got an 18-year-old who starts college next week. Kids. Say what? What'd you say?
I said a ton is at least 24 kids, I would say.
No. Well, I got an 18-year-old in college next week, 4-year-old who's preschool is expensive.
You got a ton of expenses. That's different than a ton of kids.
Hey, man. That's a lot of money. Ryan has no budget.
No, I actually this week I sat down and made a budget. I am going to do $400 a month on sneakers.
So one shoe a month. Basically.
Yeah, basically.
That's exactly what that is.
He goes to the outlet a lot.
So. One hype Boost or Supreme sneaker a month.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. You go to the outlet a lot and come home with like 19 pairs of shoes for $400.
I've never had a budget, and that's obviously a foolish thing to do when you're trying to pay for a wedding. But in July, I bought one pair of shoes, or I should say bought and kept one pair of shoes. The listeners know that story very well.
Just shifting your responsibilities around.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that has.
But see, I
don't think that has really much to do with shoes at all, though.
Right? You know,
it's
you're right.
Like this rationalization, which is fine. Like I'm not even because it's like. We all kind of get into this enchantment, you know, it's like with shoes or whatever, and it hits these pockets, and you're like, oh, this is cool, and this is cool, and this is cool, and you're kind of ignoring your regular life, and then something in your regular life happens, like getting married or your son going to school, and like, yeah, you're like, okay, let me just back out of this for a second and take care of this, because we're responsible adults. You know, you're like, I'm going to take care of this. So I don't think that has even really much to do with the shoes, you know, it's.
You know what?
Just kind of easier to walk away.
I think one of the things that made me more comfortable spending money on just, what do we want to call it, discretionary shit was the fact that I've owned my house almost 10 years and owned my car 10 years or whatever. So, you know, there's only so many more big expenditures you have before you got to chill, and the wedding is obviously one of them. So,
yeah.
Actually, I meant to ask you this real quick. This was an argument that me and George had a few days ago, and somebody actually reposted it and wanted us to ask you. Since we're all of past 30th, and you seem to know a lot of stuff music-wise, who's better, Boys to Men or 112?
No, Boys to Men are
Boys to Men.
No. Jodeci is over everyone, period.
Stop. That's not the discussion.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Teddy?
Boys to Men.
Boys to Men, thank you. Destroys 112. It's not even close.
I respect everyone's opinion. I have my own.
Jagged Edge.
No, he said 112.
You said Jagged Edge. I said Jodeci is number one, and that's a fact.
Number one doesn't even matter. All right. We're talking about rankings. If you say Jodeci is number one, you still feel 112 is number two and Boys to Men is number three.
You're right.
That's insane.
But that's why I said that the conversation's not Jodeci. It's the other conversation, which you brought up.
And I don't even think Jodeci is number one.
Yeah, they are.
All right. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay, now you disrespecting the gods. You got to chill out.
No, they might be the god of drugs, but I don't know if they gods.
You got to chill out.
I don't know about that.
You're gonna get some flack. Pause for that.
Jodeci over Boys to Men. That's a rough one. Boys to Men might be first overall in R&B.
Boys to Men has more hits for sure.
Way more hits than Jodeci.
Name a song Boys to Men did in hip hop. Can you?
It's not about this. Isn't a
LL Cool J?
This is a getting laid conversation.
What are you talking about? You're right. I mean, it's a getting laid. You talking about Hey Lover with LL Cool J? You're talking
That's
about
one of the greatest songs.
one of the greatest songs of all time.
It is.
Jodeci has way more respect in hip hop than Boyz II Men
Because
does.
they were more street. Just because they wore no shirts and overalls don't make them like. And Boyz II Men wore bow ties and cardigans doesn't make it. It doesn't make a difference.
One was
more
a church
credibility.
group and one was Spring Break, so I don't think we can even compare the two.
How about 112 or Jagged Edge?
Jagged Edge.
Dang.
But
Thank you.
What does 112 even have? That Peaches and Cream song? Is that
Peaches
like
and
the only
Cream.
That's
one?
about
They
it.
had an
Cupid.
entire album that that one album almost was better than most entire careers. Let's put
I
it
only
that way.
remember Peaches.
I mean, if you're talking
Cream,
about
it was
careers
not.
of like H-Town and all
You
them.
just said Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge is over 112.
No, they're not.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Anyway, second question, Big Raj on Instagram. He says, what do you, I mean, we kind of already touched on this. What do you feel about sneaker YouTubers riding the sneaker wave? I mean, you kind of touched on that, I feel, already. I mean, I don't think you really.
Yeah, I think they just need to put their own personal touch on it to clarify. They need
Right.
to put their own personal touch on whatever they want to do. And sneakers is a great catalyst to start a conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a great way to get people to start talking in your real life, whatever life. It's when you're somewhere and everyone's being quiet, you can look at someone's shoes and be like, oh man, what are those? Like, it's a good way to get to know people. So I don't feel like there's anything wrong with people using shoes as that catalyst. But like I said, you have to have a personality to go with it or it's not going to work.
Right. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh.
I was actually dealing with something else. Lars, one of the homies, he actually does YouTube videos. I am Lars Jung. Do you currently
Peter Man.
do you currently own actually any Nikes or Jordans still?
No.
None.
Negatory.
You don't even
Zero.
just own them. You
Zip.
can tell us this is a safe place.
I would tell you. I could turn on the webcam. We could do a tour, but there's nothing. There's nothing here.
Okay, so then if Boost didn't exist, what do you think you'd be doing differently at this moment? Which is probably tattooing, right?
That's a hard question to answer because Boost just became this. I keep using this word catalyst, but that just became this thing by accident. Like I had for years, been wanting to start documenting, like just life documenting or I think I'm hilarious. So I always wanted to like document these conversations that I'd have with my friends where people are cracking up or if I'm cracking, like I always just wanted to do it. And then this just became this thing that I started sharing my pictures on Twitter and stuff. And that really started to grow. And that's what made me do the YouTube channel. That was just the last thing that forced me to open the channel, and so I would like to think that I would be doing everything that I'm doing still, aside from maybe being brought back into the shoe world, which is, is just creating. I would hope to think that I would have started the channel for some other reason, but that's definitely like the one big thing that I knew would draw in some interest. So I used it.
Base Custom wants.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask a question that goes along with that. What shoe were you wearing when you went in the store and bought your first Boost shoe?
I'd just gotten a pair of tubulars like right before.
Okay.
That I didn't know anything about. Like I didn't know anything about the new Adidas wave at all. I was just like, I'd gone to LA. I'd actually flown to LA in Jordan slides that I had picked up at like a discount store at the beach or something. Or no, gone to go to a water park. And I needed slides to walk around in. So I grabbed like some Spizike Jordan slides. And I flew to LA because I was like, oh, I'll just fly to LA in slides and then I'll get some shoes when I get there. And then I ended up walking around for 2 days. And I was like, my feet were dying because I was wearing Jordan slides for 2 days in LA. And I ended up getting a pair of tubulars at some discount store or whatever. I slid those on. I thought those were okay. And then I tried on Boost, a couple of days later, and that was pretty much it.
So what was the first Ultra Boost? Or the first Boost?
It was actually an NMD. It was just an all-white, like the monochrome NMD.
Okay.
And then after that, I spent $10,000 in 30 days.
Base Customs, before Boost, what were you collecting?
Nothing. As far as shoes, but the last shoe that I ever collected was a Nike Air 180, and before that was SB. But after the Air 180, after they stopped remaking any Air 180s or doing any collabs, I pretty much fell out of anything like that. So I wasn't collecting much. As a tattooer, I collected rare reference books, and then all of those got stolen like 4 years ago. So I wasn't collecting shit. I was trying to get my life back on track, honestly.
Chicano Nisto, he wants to know actually how you feel about Kais and Bull. Them, do they actually impact the culture in any way, or can they move it forward?
I don't know that it's my place to be able to tell who impacts what, but I mean, they all have fans. You know, they all have people that definitely love the work that they do. And my personal experiences with all of them have been nothing but cool to me. So I have literally nothing to say bad about Bull or Kais.
Right.
Does it
That's what we're talking about.
Does it make you feel any type of way that you were left off their track?
No, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get asked to do the beat though, because we could have cooked the beat up. You know, I'm out here trying to secure a bag, so I could have just like, yo, when we get this beat going, I'll sell beats to all of them.
What did you think about
while
that?
they battle? I think it's funny. I think it's partially YouTube culture though. Like I think a lot of like the audience doesn't get it. Because don't a lot of big YouTubers make these kind of like funny joke songs, you know, and they sort of take a life of their own.
So wait, okay, so then you give them credit for intentionally trying to be funny, because I didn't take it that way. I took it as like, these dudes really ain't all that funny to begin with, and or creative, and so to me, I was just like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's the YouTube culture, and if you don't get, like, if you're not immersed in that, like you're talking about Jake Paul, like, he has rap songs, you know, and it's like,
yeah, but that's corny to me. That ain't funny to me either, though. You know what I mean?
I mean,
but that's Kais is from he's got connections to
right, yeah. What's his name? The other famous
Fubi Tubi?
Yeah,
Fousey Head?
Yeah, Fousey Tube.
Tubes. Yeah, I just think that's Kais kind of expanding his palette, I guess. And sort of put something funny, or like he did the impressions video and stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of funny, and then I thought it was really. I just wanted to sit back and watch who got offended, because I was like, yo, if you get offended by this, it's obvious that you're a little hurt. So
I can definitely see a portion getting offended. I wasn't offended. I just thought it was another corny thing that he had done. You know what I mean? Just add one more to the list. Check another box.
I love the song. I've had it on.
You can't stop singing it.
Yeah, it's in my head sometimes. Though.
Oh, it's in my head. I came in today singing it. It's a great song.
But anybody who writes a diss track back and they don't use "I Got a 9 in my booth" is totally missing an opportunity.
I mean, the Blake Linder kid.
I haven't listened to the whole song yet, so I don't know all the lyrics.
I seen the Blake Linder kid make one, and honestly, I think everything that these people are saying in their songs, they genuinely feel. I do. Like,
yeah, you think they're like joking with a little bit of
they're
truth?
joking, and they genuinely feel it, and they hide behind we just playing, we love each other, we just joking. It's just like the celebrity that does something stupid on social media, and they hide behind I was hacked. It's just be like the person that overdoes it on social media,
but
and
if
it's
people
motivation.
want to have a passive aggressive battle betwing each other, then like so be it. You know what I mean? Like that. At the end of the day, if that's what it ends up being, and I don't know either way, but it just, if anything, it would just dilute content, right? Like people would be like, okay, that, if they kept doing it and it wasn't just a one-time thing, then the content would change, and the audience would maybe just be like, okay, I'm not into this aspect of the content. Let me check something else out. So, I think what people do with their channel is their own choice, but they also have to be careful where they take it.
Babylonius 22. Babylonius. We actually asked the question last time. Babylonius 22. If you had to wear a Jordan, which would it be?
I don't like these questions where I have to do anything.
You gotta answer this. You agree?
Because it makes me feel like my mom's talking to me or something. Like I don't have to do anything first and foremost. Like there's never a situation where like you're gonna have to do this. Like no, I'm not. But for the sake of the question, it would just be like a cement 3. That's probably my favorite colorway. Anyway,
black or white cement?
Yeah, and black. Well, I like both. I never got the whites when I was younger because I would have destroyed them. Yeah. So I definitely bought the blacks. Probably I was thinking about that the other day. Like I bought the black ones on Flight Club in 2008 maybe for around $265 or something. And I remember thinking how crazy it was. And I was wondering how much those were worth now. But I guess they've probably retroed them a few times now. But probably the black 3. And then I do like the infrared. It's the 6s. I think I called them the 7s the last time.
Yeah, you did.
The infrared 6s, yes.
So
That's also mine and Greg's.
Sixers.
Probably.
I think that's the last one that I appreciated.
Gotcha.
Somebody actually, if you want to go ahead and say where the name Boost God came from, you can, because there's a question if somebody wants to know. I mean, it's a dumb.
Yeah, someone just gave it to me. Like kids just gave it to me. Basically, the first shirts I ever put out didn't say it on there at all.
Right.
And then we were, kids were asking for merch. It wasn't even I never started a YouTube channel to do merch. I had always made merch. What's funny about it is before all of this, I made merch like for my tattoo career. And I used to sell quite a bit of it, not like I do now, but it definitely was popular in my little bubble, so.
Right. Yeah, somebody. No, one of the questions was just, does whoever gave you that name receive anything when you sell merch, which is ridiculous. No, I mean, you probably have no idea who it even was at that time.
It's someone that comments on a lot of the YouTube videos, and it's not that I would. If I met him in person, it's not like I wouldn't give him a shirt or anything. But it's just not something that's come up or anything like that.
Fresh_DS23, that's the homie Johnny Gonzalez. Shout out to him. He wanted to know what's the best Yeezy 350 colorway. He didn't specify whether it's V2 or V1, but
honestly, like the breads, the most. Yeah, I think that's my favorite. It's the most wearable one. I feel like I have the most pair of zebras, but I like the breads better.
I think when we talked at SneakerCon Phoenix, we were all in agreement about the Black Friday pack. How it wasn't. It was something about it that didn't really pop off right.
Wait, but is he talking about that one? I think he's talking about
he's talking about the bread one. Yeah.
Black and red.
But to finish my statement was, the bread ones is pretty plain compared to the, equivalent to like the Black Friday pack. It's pretty tame. I would have thought you would have said Beluga zebras, especially you were wearing zebras during SneakerCon and you were in love with them.
Yeah, I had just gotten them though, and it was just like
the moment.
And I was on the road, so I was wearing the same shoes like every day. I was just kind of have all my shoes with me. So I like really beat up a pair of zebras. So I just got my fill. I got to wear zebras I probably wore them for a month straight everywhere. So I just kind of got over it. I was like, all right, I've worn the shit out of the shoe, and the bread is what I wear the most now. And I never wear the Black Friday pack, like ever.
Yeah, I don't wear mine either.
Ever. He also wanted to know what would your top 3 cereals be? I assume you eat a lot of cereal. You smoke weed.
I don't eat cereal, which
really?
Is fun. Yeah, not really. I do my best, and this is the funny thing. I do my best to eat healthy, and a lot of times I don't. I still end up eating pizza or bullshit or whatever. But cereal's not something that I'm big on, that I've eaten a lot of. Back in the day, I used to like Golden Grams a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, and O's.
Nobody
like O's. Like O's. I like O's a lot.
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is what you guys said was
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is
No,
trash.
I had Cinnamon Toast Crunch number 1. Well, hold on, because that Yeezy question brings something up. Because I know, like from Teddy's other videos and posts and whatnot, you don't like the 350 V1s except for one that Greg thinks is a top 20 sneaker of all time for some reason. But what's the issue with the difference between the V1 and the V2 in your opinion?
Well, one, the colors are completely different. Like most of them are black based, so already I feel like you have an easier to wear shoe, and for the V1s, I just didn't like all the, it's not that I don't like the earth tones, but I really can't stand that shoe. I just can't stand the way it looks.
Oh, you know what? You kind of cut off for a second. What did you say?
With the turtle doves, I really can't stand the way the turtle dove looks. And then all of those like plain looking shoes with the V1s, I was never super into. With V2s, it went into more of a black base shoe, which I was feeling, and when the Beluga came out, the orange stripe and just kind of the whole beef up of the shoe and the Boost having this more teardrop shape. I don't know, it just drew me in. The way the sock comes up, the improvements. The biggest complaint about the V1 is the heel rub, and they kind of brought that padding up to the backside and made it more like an Ultra Boost. I just feel like they killed it on the V2, especially when you hold it next to a V1.
I definitely haven't wore a V1 since having V2s. There's so many fakes out there.
I wore my Pirate Blacks the other day.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm not into the.
Yeah, no. You go to the mall and there's like fake Yeezy with lights on carts. Like I see everybody wearing fake V1s all the time. Like
you need a custom one shoe that never gets dirty. I think
you're right.
That's gonna that's gonna fix you, bro. I think like if you just got one of one, it just.
I do, but it's not even that with the V1. It's just that I always see a bunch of fakes. I never see anybody wearing real V1s anymore. Like, and maybe it's where the places I'm going. You know, I'm at the mall.
Everybody thinks my shoes are fake. It's awesome. I think it's the funniest shit ever.
Everybody thinks everything is fake nowadays.
Everybody does think everything is fake.
I mean,
I walked out of my building the other day, and this guy was like, "Damn, bro, I'm feeling those Yeezys." And he looks me up and down. He's like, "What'd you do? Win a raffle or something?"
So there's tons of people that you run into on a daily basis who are into sneakers and have no idea who you are, basically.
Yeah, especially in Denver. In Denver, it's easier to kind of be incognito because we're so behind the times. Like people here don't even know what the fuck. Like they just got, they just heard of ICP. I'm pretty sure yesterday. Like they're just
ICP.
Yeah, they're behind. They love ICP out here.
You know who Greg is? You know who ICP is, Greg?
Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't know that, but
so they kind of behind. So out here, I don't get recognized as much. I mean, it still happens. Like if I go to the mall, then it's kind of over. But
gotcha. And you kind of refuse to go local to buy shoes, right?
There's just never anything here. If they got something, I would go. But there's not like this market is just there's never anything here.
That's how it used to be here for years.
And stuff does get kind of like I don't want to say backdoor because I don't want to be that guy that complains because I really don't care who does what, like whatever. But if pairs end up there, I mean, it's just kind of like anywhere. Like people get jobs when they're, and I'm not knocking it. When you're 16, 15, however old, and you want it out at Foot Locker because you're into shoes, then obviously you and your friends are going to get.
Hello?
You there, Teddy?
And I've got good enough plugs now. I don't.
Can you hear us?
Have to.
Oh, you're cutting out.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, you're cutting out.
Who's cutting out?
You are.
I wonder why.
I think it's good. Huh?
You said you got good enough plugs now?
Yeah, I got good enough plugs now that I don't really have to worry about it too much.
Oh, okay. So a lot of people don't want to admit they got plugs.
Oh, I'm plugged up like motherfucking.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
Drew Rosenhaus voice. Next question.
Chaffs or Chafes. I don't know. I hate reading people's social media names. Have you ever smoked out any other shoe tubers?
I feel like that's something that can't be admitted.
I don't know. You ever smoked any of those geeks? Huh?
I have smoked with some of them, but
can't say. Secrets.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say who just in case.
Ever smoke with them geeks?
At underscore higher under. I'm sorry. A underscore higher underscore soul. What makes Boost the shoe of choice for you? Hype, fashion, or function?
I like all three in their own regard. I'm not going to admit that I don't like the consortium tour stuff a little better than I do, most GRs. But sometimes I think some GRs look so good that I'm like, damn, if that had a consortium tag on it, people would be going nuts. So I like it all. And the function is a given. I like the comfort of it, obviously off top. So everything else is just kind of icing on the cake. If they only made a triple white Ultra Boost, I'd be totally fine wearing triple white Ultra Boost every day.
I think triple white Ultra Boost might be the hardest ones to wear.
Well, if they made only that, I'd have like 1,000 pairs.
All right.
Rocking every day. Be on my Dame Dash.
That might be one of the greatest episodes of what was that? Cribs?
He's become a weirdo though. I can't deal with Dame Dash. Way. Nah, he hasn't always been that much of a weirdo.
100% always been that way. That's what made Dame Dash Dame Dash.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just transcended up a level on the Illuminati.
Yeah, he's just risen up. He's worse now. Like he has no choice now because he's not as big as who he is. So every time he does have
the level of weirdoism has increased as he's got more famous. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying he hasn't always been a weirdo, but he is an extreme weirdo now.
Yeah. Well, fame exposes character, is what I say.
Oh, I don't have.
That's 100% fact.
I don't have a problem with him. I'm glad he's like
that's 100%
open about that kind of stuff. But he's definitely over the top. There's no doubt about that.
T_Wilson62. How do you feel about your stands?
My stands?
Yeah.
Oh, like stands, like fans or whatever?
Yeah, like, the ones
One, I can't. Can we just get it out of the way? I hate the word stands.
I hate that word too.
George loves it.
I have never liked that word. Never.
You're kind of being a stan of Eminem when you use the word stan, if you really break it down.
I mean, isn't that where it came from? Or no?
Yeah,
it came
so
from.
you're kind of just being like, you're like basically giving Eminem didn't it become a word in the dictionary this year?
It might have.
Surprising.
They put
Pretty
everything
sure.
in the dictionary now. I think thought made it too.
Congratulations, you guys have given him his own word. I love Eminem just fine, but I think that word is really weird. Wow. And so too, I don't really care.
Right.
Now I love people that like are paying attention to what I'm doing, and I feel super fortunate that people pay attention at different levels. Like some people can just watch it and they're like, cool, whatever. Some people like my personality and attach to trying to get to know me, and other people take it like to an extreme for either maybe their own attention or they're being serious and that's how they feel. I really but it's not my place to really like say anything about it, until someone breaks into my house to try and like clip my trimmings. Like it's all good. It's just people express themselves in different ways, and I'm not like, I don't hate on it.
I would never expect anybody who has people that react to them that way to ever say anything about those individuals ever. I mean,
and not even behind closed doors. It's not like I look at my boy.
Of course, never.
You this weirdo. It's like, it's humbling that, look, the fact that even 5 people give a shit is to me every day. I'm like, this is crazy. And I like being the center of attention, or I wouldn't do these things. Like that, the deep root of it, we all are looking for some sort of attention or accolade for doing something. So to me, it's all positive reinforcement that people actually care, which is, as on a human level, is something that I desire. So it doesn't bother me.
Our actual only question from Facebook, and I think it's kind of a good question from the homie Andy Green. Considering people look at you for fashion and kicks and things like that, who do you look to, athlete, actor, or rapper, that you respect as a celebrity sneakerhead?
I don't really look at anybody. I'm not really in that realm, honestly. Like, I don't like check out. I look at shoes when I see them, but like generally my quote unquote fashion is the same as it's been. It's like basically pants and joggers and t-shirts, and an occasional windbreaker and a hoodie. Like, I don't really go above and beyond anything too crazy, and I just feel like I maybe have an eye for when something stands out. Like, I like some of the Alexander Wang stuff that gets put out, and I like some of like being able to pick from these collections, like the white mountaineering stuff that Adidas puts out. But other than that, I'm pretty into plain stuff. And then as far as the stuff I put out, I like, especially now that I've been able to shift my brand over to more of the designs that I like to do.
Right.
I'm more just trying to recreate stuff that I would have thought was cool when I was a kid. I'm just trying to recreate stuff that I missed out on, basically, or that I would have wanted to wear as a 13-year-old.
Cristiano 2113 asks.
Hold up. Let me ask one question before you do that. Are you trying to put the brand in stores, or what's your goal with?
The brand is going to go through like a fairly major change. Like, the brand itself was never supposed to, like, there was never the idea of just having this brand called BOOSTGOD. That was never like the intention. That was never what I wanted to do. So as things grow, and some people have even noticed, things have started to shift over to something else. And that's just the thing, is to kind of grow that organically, and then still do graphic tees, but also go into like, we've been working with private label on hats and pants and jackets and things like that, and just kind of taking it to a different level while still doing graphic tees, but not necessarily having everything be BOOSTGOD. Like that's not really where we wanted to start, and that's not really where we want to finish either.
Yeah, there's actually a few merch questions in here that we'll probably get to. Cristiano 2113, if you could choose only 3 shoes and in any colorway to live the rest of your life, what would they be?
I mean, I'd probably just pick 3 Ultra Boosts. Honestly.
I figured you would say that.
Yeah, and I don't know which ones I'd pick. I mean,
they're all the same, just different colors.
Yeah, I mean, 3.0 and 2.0 and 1.0 fit different. I'd probably, if I had to live the rest of my life in this scenario, as I'm being forced again,
Your
then I would
your
probably
fans
pick-
want to force you. That pause.
Yeah, I'd probably be picking 3.0 just for comfort levels because I'm only getting 3 shoes and I'm hoping to live to be at least 100. So
Thank you. See, because for me, like wearing a 1.0, a 1.0 really starts to hurt the top of my foot after about the 2.5, 3 hour mark. Because I feel like the prime knit is so tight on it, whereas the 3.0 definitely is a more comfortable overall shoe.
yeah, and they did digital mapping on the upper for that shoe, so they looked how feet move compared to just a knit upper. You know?
I did not know that.
Yeah, technology, man.
It's crazy.
This is Jesus, GE3 Zus.
Nice.
Man, I got big.
Must be your son.
I was like, I mean, goodness. Like,
Yes, Boost Jesus.
whatever happened to just, my name is John Smith. Like, what is GE3 Zus? Whatever.
I think John is probably taken on.
I'm sure it is, but he could have, substitute the I for a number 1 and the T for, I don't know. I got big into Ultra Boost and Yeezys because of you, but I still do love my Jordan 1s, mostly the Royals and Band 1s. Can you see yourself ever getting something besides Ultra Boost, NMDs, any other boost?
I don't know. It's hard for me to really it really comes down to.
I don't think you can.
I can. I mean, I can do whatever I want. I don't really
You're
care.
right.
But I don't really give a shit what anyone thinks or says as far as tomorrow if I go pick up a pair of Vapor Maxes and people just want to go crazy, then whatever. I'll do what I want. The fact is that I don't want to. And I don't want to because of the taste that's been left in my mouth by Nike over the years. It took so long for that to happen. I was super immersed into it and I just got over it. And Adidas and Boost was something that brought it back for me. It was something new, and that was the main thing is okay, this is and even if this ends up being a moment in time where it's okay, Boost was really good from these 3-4 years and then it kind of just fizzled out. I still got to ride that ride, and that's totally fine because I got to experience something that I thought was gone forever, but I can't really say with Nike, it's hard for me because even they're re-releasing my favorite model now, finally after however long, and it just doesn't interest me as much because I do know it's not going to be as comfortable.
Well, I mean, it's kind of.
I'm sorry?
No, I was going to say, kind of going back to, you talk about the bad taste that Nike left in your mouth. You being a tattoo artist. I mean, I know creativity is subjective. And it's kind of I think a lot of people want to know how far Adidas can actually take their creativity with just throwing different colors and patterns. I mean, I think I've just kind of. I've already got to the point to where having.
I don't think Adidas will do that. I think they need collaborators. I think that was what made Nike cool.
Right.
Having an idea what the temperature is on the street and what the temperature is with art, and because art is what's driving everything, is what needs to be highlighted. And Adidas needs to do that, and Nike needs to do that. And Adidas right now, in this point, is doing a better job. Even if people don't like the Alexander Wang collection, they're collaborating with a real fashion artist. It works.
Right. But and that's what's definitely appreciated. And I think accessibility with those type of special moments would be great. If everybody can go get an Alexander Wang, Adidas would be awesome.
Right.
But like you're saying with Nike, they continue to bring out a lot of our classic favorites, and they just destroy them with odd colorways,
Bad materials,
and they don't want to reach out further than the same collaborators they've used for years now. They don't want to take a different avenue, like Adidas is doing right now.
I think these companies just get so big that it's political. It's all political at some point,
Absolutely.
Right. Next question from Hypebeast _ Steven. What got you into bulldogs for a pet?
That's a good question, I guess. I always just liked them. I've always loved them as when I was a kid. I loved them. My dad says that I don't really talk to my dad too often, but he says that he always talked about getting bulldogs, and he just never did. We always had different kinds of dogs, but pretty much as soon as I got to a point where I could afford to take care of one, I got one. So, and now I'm on my second one.
Definitely,
I'll probably have them forever.
They definitely are expensive to buy and to maintain.
Oh. Dude, this dude's already been in the vet twice since I got him. You know, it's like, and that's one thing about my vlog too. It serves that purpose even because I can show like people like, man, how much work is an English Bulldog puppy? And like, you can watch and find out how crazy this is going to be. You know, like the next year of expenses and what it takes to train a puppy. You know, so
before me and my wife got married, we talked about getting one, and it was just looking up the research too much. Talking about
they're great. I'm not gonna say they're not as bad as people make it seem, or at least in my experience. My last dog, he had his share of issues, but nothing crazy. Like nothing where I was like, oh my god, this dog is just a money pit. You know, he was a pretty healthy dog.
Yeah, see, for me, like I was looking at it when I first got my place, and obviously the $5,000 price tag is what turned me away. So I ended up finding a breeder in town who was a Rottweiler breeder and had an English Bulldog as a family pet, and the English Bulldog knocked up their Rottweiler, and I got myself a Rottweiler English Bulldog mix.
Yeah, I bet that's a crazy looking dog.
He is.
Sounds like sexual assault.
He did. He was. He tied her up.
Cody Nunn _ he must follow you regularly. He said, when do you think you'll start dropping things other than merch? I guess joggers and hats. He says you had said it at one point, but you never really said when. Yeah,
it's just the transition. So and that stuff takes a long time too. What people don't really realize is we have to have samples made. It's like a real thing. Like essentially trying to come like a brand such as Kith, you know, without. I mean, everyone who knows anything knows Ronnie's connected like hoods, like you know, like two hoods of a car trying to jumpstart. So we don't have those same connections, and we don't have, you know, it's just like all this footwork that you have to do to get everything working, and then 3-month leadway. You know, I designed pants 3 months ago, and hats 3 months ago. So it just takes time, and it takes a lot of money of investment, but it's something that I want to do, so I'm just doing it, and no pun intended.
Yeah, we get a lot of people who ask us for merch all the time, and I want to know how difficult it is. Like, is it, you know, just starting out when you came out with your first items of quote unquote merch, like, was it an extraneous process, or was it just like a test type run thing? Like, obviously I'm assuming quality is better than what it was when you first started.
Well, that was the one big thing for me in the beginning, because I'd done, like I said, I did merch for t-shirts for tattoo stuff.
Right.
But my main thing when I moved into the sneaker merch stuff, because tattoo guys will buy whatever. It's like, they're like, all right, I want a t-shirt. I don't care, you know, and my biggest complaint was that I didn't like to even wear some of my early tattoo shirts because they were on Gildan or whatever crap, and I just didn't like it. And we could never find shirts that I actually liked to wear. So then again, that was a process of footwork of trying to get all these different shirts and all these different blanks and just experimenting and this, that, and the third. And then from that point, the quality, like I feel like we had a standard that we wanted to do quality. We just kept trying to up it, and we keep trying to up it. And that's where we are now. It's like I can do graphic shirts all day long, but at some point I want to go beyond that, you know?
So are you changing the brand name then? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking, or
yeah, BOOSTGOD will definitely go away. It won't even. We've already even like I changed it to a symbol a long time ago.
Right.
So I changed that to a symbol, and I've been using that for a long time. And then even if you turn, no one's even figured this out yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. If you turn the symbol sideways, it says TED. So we had dropped a shirt with it sideways, and that pretty much sold out. And that's like one of my favorite shirts. So literally, the brand is going to move into TED, and we'll still have like BOOSTGOD, you know, like my symbol will still be recognizable. I'm essentially the artist formerly known as, you know, but yeah, like my idea is to move into something else because it's a personal thing. Like it's a personal brand. And like everyone even says, like people just started calling me BOOSTGOD, you know, it's not something that I anointed to myself.
Right. You're talking about the Asian symbols, right?
Yeah, it's not Asian. I just made it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a cross and a B and a G. I just like made it up, and that's just like, and it just was meant to represent BOOSTGOD because I wanted to make a cool symbol. You know, just being a tattoo artist or an artist in general, I just wanted to make something that looked visually striking and could be symbolic. And we did that months ago, and it also as a design, you can turn it sideways and read it. And so yeah, that's just kind of like was the transition.
I mean, just knowing that creativity put behind that. I mean, obviously the other, I mean,
But you did check to make sure it doesn't mean anything, right?
It doesn't. I did. Yeah, as far as I know, I had one guy in the elevator the other day in my building. He's like staring at my shirt. He's looking at it sideways, and he's like, "That's some interesting Japanese lettering." I was like, "It's not Japanese. I made it up." You know, and he's like,
Right.
"Oh, really?" And I'm like, he just keeps staring at me. But he's with this Japanese girl. And he's like trying to read it, and I'm like, "Dog, it don't say nothing," you know. And he's like, "No, it does." I'm like, "No, it doesn't. And I'm not lying to you." And but yeah, but I don't think it says anything. I just made it up.
Well, I seen
It's my
that.
Prince.
I seen it, and I was like, I wonder if he actually had somebody figure out BOOSTGOD in those
No,
symbols.
I just drew a cross and then put like a little B in there and a G in there and like broke it up and made it look artsy. And it's actually kind of based off this old signature I used to do on paintings, because before all this I used to sell a lot of paintings that I would paint. And my regular like Teddy Safarian signature was sort of similar. And I just kind of one night was stoned and like broke it up and was like, "Oh, look, it's a B and a G." And then we ran it on a shirt. People liked it. And that's just what we did. You know, like I just stay true to my own creativity and people just feel it. And I'm like fortunate in that fact. And that's all I try to do is just make stuff that I like. I'm like, "Oh, that looks cool. I want to make it," and just make it. And people so far have been feeling it.
Fingun,
Hold on.
1999.
To go back to your thing, people asking you to make merch. That's just people openly saying they want to support you. So you should do it. Because that's all they're saying. Like, that's what I think is super, super cool about the age we live in now, is that you can literally directly support someone that you want to support.
Yes.
Whereas before, it's like you see somebody on TV or something, and it's like, "Oh, okay." Or you go to, even to go buy a shirt, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to go buy some new T-shirts." And you go to the mall, it's like you have no idea who drew it or designed it or anything like that. And now you can directly, it's almost like walking, kind of a walking profile. Like if someone wears a Sneak Dish shirt to the mall, they're kind of showing everybody like, "Hey, I fuck with these dudes," or "I fuck with this." You know what I mean? So I think that shit's
Hey,
cool as fuck.
you know,
I think that's one of the coolest things about happening now.
with that is like, you know, a lot of times when I think about it, even shirts and stuff, I stress over how it looks a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I will say Urban Necessities, yours are probably the most attractive YouTuber merch, you know, or whatever you want to call it, I've seen. So whenever I ever draw out or think of anything as possible merch, I don't want it to be plain, but I don't want it to be over the top, and it has to fit our show. Like we're just a podcast show. Like we're not, you know, our personalities are strong on here and things like that, but it has to be something that we would
You
wear.
guys should get one of those old big head baseball style shirts made.
Oh, you know,
From back in the day.
I thought about that too. I've gone back and looked at like some retro stuff from like, I've even looked at like designs and stuff from overseas and thought maybe doing that. But another thing is originality is important to us, because I don't want to make, you know, Laker colors or put a Yeezy on our face, or, you know.
I feel you. You don't want to like,
Yeah.
I feel you don't want to be corny, but at the same time, a regular shirt, you don't even have to like, you might be overthinking it in some ways. You know,
I always
like,
overthink everything.
people are just trying to support. You could put out a shirt that's just like your, you know,
Right.
your head or whatever. You know, you can do anything. People just want to show their support for what you're doing.
Have to look into that. Fingun, I guess that's what this says. 1999. Where has been your favorite place to travel for sneaker culture domestically, internationally, and where would you like the culture to take you?
I don't know that. I mean, people with the travel thing, like everywhere is kind of the same, especially as far as sneaker culture goes. Like everywhere I go, I can't find shoes in my size. doesn't matter, you know. Like London, no shoes in my size. Like Miami, no shoes in my size. So like, honestly, the internet is the key to still all of that stuff. You know, like getting shoes now is just about internet and being connected. So physically, there's not even been anywhere I've gone that I'm like, man, this is the mecca of shoes. You know, this is where everybody gets it. So there's really no answer for that, honestly. It's like,
where did you enjoy going the most?
tour was so tiring. I did it so wrong, you know. Like I got so tired on the road that at the end of it, I feel like I wasn't really like present for some of it. You know, I was like present for my pop-ups, but then afterwards, instead of going to enjoy some of the cities, I would just be like, man, I just want to go eat and go to sleep. You know, I got to do this again tomorrow, or I got to catch a flight tomorrow. But I think having sneakers take me to London, you know, and then even having the opportunity to go to Hong Kong and Australia, which I don't think I'm going to make it, but just having those opportunities open up from starting a YouTube channel that is heavily based around what shoes I like to buy was fairly surreal. You know, like being like,
yeah, that's
you know,
tight.
Smoking a joint in London and being like, dude, I'm here because kids want to meet me because of shoes, which is crazy. You know, like.
Right. So off topic, but a question from me: when you went to London, do you have any sponsors?
No. I just pay for everything.
You're the Chance the Rapper of YouTubers.
Yeah.
He went platinum with no features.
And that's why, like, people talk shit and they're like, oh, he cares about money and this and that, and he just drops merch. It's like, this has turned into a full, like, not only a full-time job for me, like, my best friend just moved out here from New York to have a job. Him and his fiance, like, jobs, you know. We've got like 7 people working in the print shop between packing and printing and mailing stuff out. So it's like I've created jobs for my friends.
That's awesome.
You know, which is like the biggest thing for me, and that's why I push so hard. Is it's not just me. I have a friend that's in prison, and when he comes home, it'll be his 3rd strike if he gets in trouble again. So I was like, you know, I got to build something so that he can have a job when he comes home where he doesn't have to worry about this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is a big machine that I'm trying, and that's why I'm trying to move into a brand and, you know, offer kids more than just one little thing. And if they want to rock with me and if they want to watch me build this brand from essentially the ground up, then they're here for the ride. And that's like the really big thing for me is helping everybody else and like trying to lift everybody else up and do this together. Cause I'm not, you know, like people like, he makes so much money. It's like, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Crazy all this is.
Are you not going to Hong Kong and Melbourne just cause, or?
It's just really expensive, man. Like, it's just like.
So SneakerCon doesn't take care of that kind of stuff for you?
SneakerCon does take care of it domestically. Like, they always take care of me domestically.
Right.
And there's in no way a diss to them. And like, it just internationally, I think they're trying to grow their brand also as, you know, this new sneaker convention power, and them going internationally and doing more international stuff. They're also like trying to learn how to budget and having their own growing pains with it.
Right.
And I don't think they can afford to fly everybody out and make it the show that they need to make to keep their steam rolling. And I can respect that, but I also just have to not be there, you know? And then if at the end of these, you know, these sneaker concerts are like, well, man, we didn't sell as many tickets for this reason or that reason, and I have anything to do with that, then that's a conversation that just has to happen later. But at this juncture, like, you know, any conversation I've had, like, we just can't afford the international stuff, and, you know, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not going to pay what I could buy a used Acura for to get to the other side of the country. You know, and have to, like, sneak merch. That's what people don't understand. Like, I can't just waltz into Hong Kong with a bunch of shirts and be like, hey, guys, you know, like, I got a bunch of shirts. And then, like, how am my stuff in Australia, too? Like, I'm going to get taxed like crazy. It's just, it's a lot of expense to just give back. I'd love to meet all my fans there and, like, experience it, but not at the price tag, that's for sure.
You already answered this earlier, but Harvey_D123 wants to know, what was your first pair of boots you copped?
Yeah, the NMDs,
the white
ones, right?
Yeah, the white ones.
This guy, he says he's asked you 1,000,000 times.
He can't get an answer from you.
He's never got an answer from you. His name is Nathanthropist. He's asked you 1,000,000 times and no answer. When are you coming back to the UK and seeing more of the country, not just London? And he would love to smoke up with you.
I'm not going to answer it, just to keep it going. No, I'm just kidding.
That's perfectly fine.
I don't know, man. It's all about time. Like, again, this is all like a machine now, and it's, you know, it's hard for me to, like, I have the new puppy, and I'm trying to be very involved in his upbringing, and, you know, it's a lot, and it's a lot of money, and people don't really like, people just, I think people think I'm rich too.
I think they honestly do. I think people forget that YouTubers, quote unquote YouTubers, are still regular people. They might.
I make no money on YouTube. Like, I can tell you, I made $1,100 last month on YouTube, which is bullshit. Like, straight up. I know that to some people, like, what, $1,100? Like, the amount of work that I put in to a video and to all this stuff that I do, $1,100 is like change, like for even just the hourly rate. I don't even want to know what the hourly rate is because I'll probably jump off my balcony. So, but
I think most people probably expect everyone makes Casey Neistat money or Kais money or whatever.
If I make Casey Neistat money, we'd be blowing rockets off our fucking porch every night and shit. You know, like I'd be paragliding and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I'd come to London for a month, but as much as I'd love to do a lot of these things, like go to Europe and just explore, time and money, man. Like I don't have it.
Norin wants to know, who would you collaborate with? Sorry, what?
I think it was just feedback.
Oh, Norin, he said he would like to know who would you collaborate with, whether it's Adidas or Supreme or whatever.
I'd probably pick A-Life before anybody just because I love A-Life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen.
Actually, that brings up a good question. So do you know what happened? Because Greg was in New York a couple years ago and tried to go to Rivington Club, and he couldn't find it or was closed or something. Do you know the story behind that? Did something happen with Rivington Club at one point where they closed and then reopened? Or
not that I'm aware of. They've been there every time I've gone.
Because he actually talked to the the neighbors or whatever, and they said there hasn't been a store there in a while.
Yeah, they said they closed, and I was right in front of it, and it was closed, middle of the day, cage down, everything.
Weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't buy any A-Life for a couple of years.
Are you into Supreme at all?
You know, but like here and there. I mean, I used to fuck with Supreme way. I don't want to be one of those old dudes like, yeah, man, back in the day. But really, back in the day, I used to fuck with Supreme like pretty heavy. Even before it was before, like, we were just going to New York and buying like SBs and going to skate, and just you could go pick up a shirt still. You know, I remember the first time that I went to Supreme and there was a line, and being like, what the fuck is going on? You know, so like I used to fuck with Supreme pretty heavy, but not since it got super hype. I mean, I still every once in a while will grab an accessory or something like that. But the fact of the matter is that the T-shirts are printed on bullshit, and you know, none of the other clothes ever really fit me to the point where I was like, this is just so sick. You know, like it still to me comes down to how something feels on me. I'm not one to wear something just because I want to impress people and be uncomfortable. So it's really rare that I get a Supreme item.
Chase_Brogan, what do you think of the boost on Pumas?
I don't really think anything of it. I don't really care. You know, like, again, the marriage of the upper and the boost is what I like, and the way the Ultra Boost looks. So, like, everybody's all, you know, on the edge of their seat waiting for all these other companies to do boost, and all the rumors about, you know, BASF losing the contract and this, that, or Adidas losing the contract. I don't really care. Like, I think it'll always be compared to the Adidas Boost, and that's just kind of like what it is. You know, it's always going to be a bootleg Boost to everybody. Anyone that's in this is always going to know that Boost was like the first thing. Even I guess people will say Puma beat them to market, but they didn't make any waves with it. You know, like Adidas is the one that got the recognition.
They definitely didn't take advantage of what they had, because I had never seen any of that until George had brought it up one time. That was my first time ever even knowing any of the information. Then we went.
But didn't Adidas sue them?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
didn't Adidas sue them?
Yeah, there's a lawsuit. I don't think it's been completely adjudicated yet, or whatever the
But the you know, you go to the website on Puma and they had them there, and they're like $47, you know, and it's Ultra Boost on a shoe, and you know, it just shows that, you know, how much design does matter. But also marketing. Like, if nobody wears it, no one cares. So
Big Baller Brand has Boost.
Yeah,
I don't know what Big Baller Brand has. Big Baller Brand isn't real.
Have you experimented with any of like the basketball Boost or anything like that? I've
tried stuff on, but I'm not a big basketball shoe wearer like that either.
How about the Alexander Wang basketball stuff?
I have both pairs of those. They're cool. They're actually comfortable. They're weird as fuck looking. I'm not gonna lie.
I've heard they're really comfortable.
I like those.
I like those too.
I think they're dope. At first, when the first pictures came out, I thought they looked really clunky. Like, they looked real thick. But
they definitely look bad off feet. Like all the Alexander Wang shoes on the floor, I don't think look very good. But when you put them on your feet, I'm like, okay.
Those ones that we've seen at Phoenix, those like not the sock ones, those look awful. I'm sure they look fine when you got them on. Off feet, they look awful. Right?
Oh yeah, off feet, it looks like a used condom.
It does. They're definitely flaccid. What else we got? Oh, you know what? Somebody asked a question. I didn't get it, but they asked it on your post. And they asked, and which I guess you covered right now. They asked, what if Jordan 1s had Boost on it? Would you consider going back to Jordan?
No, because the upper's still trash. And I'm fucking sick and tired of that silhouette. Like, I'm just like, dog, it's been 20-some years, you know? Like,
that's true.
And now they're dropping the little Uzi Vert edition, you know?
Wait, what?
What?
Well, that's what that shit should be. The one with the split toe, is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, that's trash. Now see that right there.
Trying to defend that.
No.
The half and half color one.
That split down the middle trash. That right there is when everyone starts to question Nike and creativity. Like you're losing your mind now when you're creating a split home version of a sneaker. Like where are you gonna stop? We talk about it. I don't know what episode it was on one of our shows. We talked about the Jordans because I said Jordans now they're ugly to people now, like to kids now. To us, we still think they're fire because we grew up with them. But if I ask my son, he goes, I don't care for Jordans. He was like, none of them look attractive. Like, and he's 18. Like, he doesn't look at a Jordan 4 and think that's fire or anything like that. He doesn't look at all. He likes ones, but he considers ones like just high top Vans to him. Like, they're just flat and they're regular. You wear them with jeans and that's it. But like 11s and things like that, kids are gonna grow up and think 11s and stuff are ugly. Yeah. Like, they're old. We're wearing stuff that was made in 1985. Like, there's nothing that you can do to it. Now they're trying to throw Flyknit on a Jordan 1. Like, now you're just reaching.
Eventually, Jordan 1s will be Chuck Taylors.
Chuck 1s should have been Chuck Taylors about 15 years ago. You should be able to walk in any store, like we've said numerous times. I should be able to get a bread one, like an Air Force One.
You guys are just as hurt as I am. I mean, y'all just didn't leave.
Oh, yeah. No, well, see, that's the thing. Jordan 1s are still very wearable. But they're very wearable to, like, you go into the mall real quick, or you might go somewhere. Like, I'm not going to wear them all day.
Or George's wedding.
Like, Jordan 1s are
definitely split-toe Jordan 1s at my wedding. Why not?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, you should wear a Two-Face tuxedo, too. Half white, half black tuxedo.
Yes.
And flip a coin.
Yeah, I need Cole Haan to collaborate with Boost.
You should have
instead of Air.
You should have Teddy the Boost God come marry you.
Yeah. I'm doing some weddings this year. I got 2 coming up.
Somebody, this is a weird question. Abby Cardo, if he wants to know if you and Abby are a thing, or will you guys be at any point?
Are we or will we be? That's an amazing question.
Maybe he's trying to slide in those DMs.
No, we're not. It's just a very funny thing that we are friends and we have fun just fucking with everybody, but we're definitely not a thing. I'm not in a relationship by choice because I'm out here trying to build. I'm not trying to be weighed down with no responsibilities.
So there's no Boost wife, no Boost kids coming soon?
No Boost babies?
No. Well, I mean, I'm still out here boosting, but I'm just saying I'm not committedly boosting.
Would your child's name be Jesus?
No, I don't know what I would name a kid. Probably something ridiculous.
Prime knit.
What is the story with the one follower you have who like always gets made fun of? What's that story all about?
The one?
Boost goddess?
Oh, Virgos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe there's more than one. I just see like people always clowning one person on your timeline.
Yeah, Virgos gets clowned because I think he likes it, honestly. I don't know. He's just always kind of Eoring around stuff. I don't know. It just sort of took place on Twitter. He gets a lot of L's, and so he changed his name to L Burgos, and people just like to give him shit. And even if he does get a shoe, it's pretty much guaranteed to have some sort of flaw, something like that. So everybody just likes to give him shit for it, and he loves it. He plays way into it. He just like loves to pretend to be negative.
The last question from I'm Ruji. What is, in your opinion, the most overrated Boost shoe, and does it and that doesn't deserve all the hype?
I think the S and S is overrated.
The T times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a black white Boost.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's not even like that.
The black
I mean,
and white.
it just kind of it's like stormtrooper-y, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, like I like the shoe, and I'm glad I have it in my collection, but it's just one of the ones that to me, I was like, okay, everybody's going crazy over this
Can't
thing.
even remember what
but
that one looks like.
I rarely wear it.
Huh? I don't know what that one looks like.
You'll know when you see it.
Yeah, it's like
There's a few black and just
basically
black
white
and
with like black peppered into it.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like almost similar to the Reigning Champ.
Yeah, it's got leather cages and shit.
Last question. I think Ryan had text you about it prior, and I'm sure people be interested. Oh yeah, Georgia showing me a picture right now. Those suck. They don't suck.
They're not.
You gotta take the cage off.
They're not what they go. They're not worth what they go for.
Take the cage off.
Those are cage removable ones.
Leather cage.
I take the cage off on those. It's too much white.
It'll be even more white when you take the cage off.
Nah, it'll be more peppery.
Black underneath. I got you.
It'll be peppery.
Bro, please don't say peppery ever again.
I mean, I don't know what to call it.
Peppery.
Nah, man, peppery. I've made peppered in the thing.
Mature man.
Oh
here.
yeah, I too many people on Twitter these days saying peppered in.
A top 5 Air Max. Would you happen to have?
Oh yeah, he did text me about this.
He did. You sound disgruntled about it.
Air Max 180. It would definitely be Air Max 180.
I remember you told us that.
Yeah, that's my absolute favorite Nike shoe that's ever been made, hands down. It's not even close. Like, so really, it's really just that shoe. But if I had to like pick in between, you know, like the Air Max 180 Opium was probably my favorite colorway.
Oh, those ones are tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like my fucking favorite shoe. I had to leave those in a hotel, and I was so upset about it. I remember.
You had to.
And then
You
the
don't have
Atmos
to do
Animal,
anything.
I like the Atmos Animal camo. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Yeah, that one's good too. Yeah.
I think that's a good shoe from looks. The OG menthols I kind of like. I don't know
Those
why.
are dope. Yeah.
Is that the first? I was going to ask you guys. Is that the first Nike Air that has the bubble that wrapped all the way around the back?
Which ones?
The 180s didn't wrap all the way around the back. It was just that
Not
big.
the 180, but the OG menthol.
Oh,
That's
the
a different
93s. The 93s.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I think that might have been the first.
I believe so.
Yeah, so I think that was what my big draw to that. I was trying to remember what I loved about that shoe, and I was like, I think it's the first one that you got that full back pocket.
It may have been the first runner, but it wasn't the first shoe, period, because basketball did it first, I believe.
Oh yeah, they did have a few basketball
Yeah.
models. Maybe it was just the runner, and then the Volt Hyper I liked.
All right.
Remember
You
that
know
one?
what? Just to go back to Adidas real quick. We talked about you getting a few pairs we've seen on social media from Pharrell. How did that start? Because I remember last time we talked to you, you didn't have any, I don't know, contact or anything like that.
It's like the more the channels grow. So like I have a funny relationship with Adidas. So marketing and everybody, like I have good relationships with. And obviously on like a somewhat of a seeded list because I get some shoes sent to me here and there. So those relationships have grown kind of organically. Like I've never reached out to them, but different people have reached out to me. And I think that the Pharrell thing happened because of the BBC store, honestly. I think that was the connection there.
What
just from
happened with
making
that?
friends at the BBC store.
Oh,
Gotcha.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Man, you should write Pharrell back and tell him he should have put Boost on those.
well, I'm just hoping that it stays. You know, that's what I'm looking. There's people keep saying that, you know, and I'm like, well, there's no Boost Pharrell out. You know what I mean? It's not like-
You're waiting for that human race.
yeah, so I'm waiting on these new ones, and hopefully it continues to get boxes that show up because that would be tight. You know, but
How many pairs
if
have you
not,
gotten
I'll buy
from them
them.
already?
I'll buy them too. So I don't ever want to become those people that expect it either. You know, because then you're all disappointed. Like, oh, they should have sent it to me, but you know. So
that
we'll see.
relationship is still pretty fresh then. You probably only got a few pairs.
Yeah, and it's weird, man. Like, and people think that this shit is so like, oh, once you're up on top of this whole YouTube thing or you got some recognition that it's just easy. Like, it's not. You know what I mean? Like, even my connections in Adidas, these are just regular people with jobs. You know, it's not like they're just waiting by their phone or their DMs for me to hit them up and so they can send me something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just takes them thinking of me. And the only way that people are going to think of me is if I'm out here making a little bit of noise. So I just, you know, I try to do my part in it, and then to get any kind of recognition from it's just cool. You know, it's not necessarily expected, and people think that they should send me every Boost shoe, and some people think they should pay me, and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm out here trying to do my own thing. You know, again, the shoes are just one aspect of it.
All right. I think that's it for questions. That's all I got.
Only one other one I can think of, and I thought it was a good closing question, was have you put anything on your foot besides Boost recently and not told anyone about it?
No, I would tell everybody.
No, you wore the Pharrell tennis shoe.
No. I mean like a Nike shoe or something.
Yeah, they're asking if I've been sneaking off to put Vapor Max.
Yeah, like have you I don't mean to like be
fancy.
sneaky. I'm saying have you tried anything on that anyone's been like, yeah, try a Vapor Max on or whatever?
No, I picked up a pair of Vapor Maxes in my hand and was like, yuck. Then I put them down.
How about flip flops?
No, just Adidas slides.
I think he has the same slides that I do that I was trying to tell you guys about.
Cloud foams.
Yeah,
Cloud
them
foams
joints
light.
are like Boost, basically. Might even be softer than Boost.
Yeah, better than Boost. I don't even give a shit about Boost slides because they're not going to compare to Cloud foam. There's no way it's going to compare.
I might have to check those out then.
I mean, I'm still going to cop, but they're not going to compare.
I mean, they're just slides. I mean,
Yeah. Cloud foam is not just slides.
I'm not saying like go like try to run through the streets naked to get them, but try them on. You ain't got to like jump through hoops, but
I mean, how dramatically different do they
I
feel
would
from
be
like a Nike
interested
slide?
to try
it's a
on
big
new
difference.
Nikes if they like spoke to me. You know, like if I could pick one, like if the new 180 comes out, you know, like this, is it a Comme de Garçons or whatever? Is that who's doing the collab? You know, it's like tempting to me to be like, all right, I would like to put that shoe on and see if it feels really bad or if I'm still just, you know what I mean? Like compare it back to Boost. But I just feel like it's not going to be as comfortable because Nike Air 180, as much as I loved it, it's not like it was the most comfortable shoe in the world.
It's a heavy shoe.
It's an underrated
it's
shoe,
also
though.
not very breathable.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's got like a neoprene sock, basically, you know?
That's basically what it is. I think it's very underrated still. And if you ever copped anything, I need you to do a video of you copying something else. That would shake the YouTube world.
I would never miss out on that opportunity. So
I would literally shake the core of some of these people who have questions for you. Somebody asked a question about the viability of Boost to the 4.0, and I mean, it was the most scientific question I'd ever seen. I didn't even ask it. Like, it was, you know, I'm not having to agree with that.
Had kids Snapchat me, they'll like be taking apart Nikes and taking apart Boost and like comparing them. It's crazy, but like they're also at the root of it, they're kids that are just super interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that shit's cool. It's like that's what I used to do when I was a kid. Like my dad bought me my first pair of Reebok pumps, popped the pump, and one day ripped the shit right out of the shoe because I wanted to see how it worked. You know, it's like Dad got me a pair of, I don't remember which Nike Airs it was, but it was one of my first pairs of their air bubble. Popped the air bubble with a pencil by like second period because I was just like interested to see what noise it would make or if it, you know, whatever. So
Did that with a tag.
yeah, I can relate a little bit, I guess.
I have no more questions. I feel that we pretty much touched on a lot of the questions that we went over, and a lot of them we kind of answered just in conversation. So to anybody who felt like their question wasn't, you know, prominently asked or anything like that, I guess my apologies, but we discussed it and you got your answers that you liked. We appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
Spending a couple hours with us. I'm sure you got other things you could be doing right now.
I'm boosting. It's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
parting shots.
You know,
thanks for having me, though. I appreciate
of course,
it.
no, we
Absolutely.
appreciate it, and I hope you don't get bothered by anything that we post. You know,
Oh, hell no. Dog, I've been in a tattoo shop for 10 years. And that's one
Right.
thing no one on the internet could ever get to me. You know what I mean? Like, tattoo shop life is completely different. I'm seasoned in shit talk.
good.
Have you had anybody contact you or approach you about coming out to the Ben Hadlow's Fest Heated Soul Summit on September 24th, I believe?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I know that JC and Charles have a pretty good relationship, so I didn't know if Charles or JC had reached out to you about coming out for that. But if you're in town, then
It might just be worth it just to come watch Greg have to fight like four people.
everybody, yeah,
one on four.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
just,
nice. You getting jumped?
he might.
Oh, and I
Nah,
welcome it.
he
I don't
won't.
give
He
a
won't.
I welcome it.
He won't get jumped with me there. Trust me. That's 1,000,000% fact.
I mean, nobody gets sneaker. I get death threats for every sneaker con. So, I mean, it's whatever.
Well, if you're in town, we'll go out and have a drink of your choosing and a salad.
Yeah, sounds good.
That might have been one of the most ridiculous things on Twitter, like in the last year, is all these people sending you salad pics. I'm sorry, but that is ridiculous.
They acted like salads were just invented.
Yeah.
I'm 35 years old, married, and tonight Teddy introduced me to my first salad. Shit. I'm like, this dude's probably trolling, you know? Like,
I hope so. I mean, I was going through that. And cats were really like, bro, I'm giving this a shot.
Salad. Yeah. He's like, giving this a shot.
I'm giving this a shot. I'm like, yes, and you're going to try milk next. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, we appreciate you coming through. Like I said, this will be posted up by midnight on iTunes and everything else. And we appreciate you actually posting on social media. There's a lot of people who wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no problem.
So we'll hopefully chat again. And thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Thanks, Teddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, peace. Thanks, guys.
All right. Anything else from you guys? Nothing?
It's late.
It's late.
That's a sneak dish.
We ain't got no Uzi noises tonight.